Hi, class. I'm going to go over a portion of the chapter, I believe it's chapter 15 in the Renz et al. Book, and this has to do with performance assessment in nonprofit organizations. Performance assessment is often done with the funding agencies determining this. They can do it in consultation with the nonprofit itself. They may set guidelines and standards that have to be met, but very often a nonprofit organization itself should be doing its own, in essence, in-house performance assessments. And the point I really want to emphasize in this, again, you'll have a reading on this, but if you're doing this in-house, and if you're doing it in a consultative way, do it in more than just in consultation with your board and the CEO and or the funding agency. Performance assessments, in my view, should also very much involve your line staff, the people on the front lines that need to carry this stuff out. And it's not simply a matter of them understanding what those standards are. They should have some actual input, which means they also need to know what the program or project parameters are from the very beginning, and that way they can be informed. And that's, again, very important, because they should be fully aware of what those standards are, what the expectations are, particularly within their particular roles. And as I said, I can't emphasize this enough, I believe they should have input into that process. It should be a dialogue, and it should take a while. This is not a process that is simply done in a commanding style. In my view, Tammy Yu is terrible at this, but that's another story. I just don't use their model. Check with your line staff, and as I said, you may have a contract to perform certain duties. It could be, say, with the Youth Corps, where you're expected to graduate a certain percentage of the people who are participating in the program, or perhaps it's something like meal services. Same thing. That's generally a countable item, and it's pretty easy to keep records and logs. And it's a good idea to do this on a daily basis, or at least a weekly basis, to track what you're doing from day to day or week to week in terms of meeting those expectations. So again, I'll just summarize again. Performance evaluation, it's part and parcel of the nonprofit world. You've got to prove your worth, and it tends to be something that can be fairly rigorous. An in-house process is the best, and better still, involve your people who are actually doing the work. And that means it's going to take a while. So open up a little time for all that to happen, and to cover all contingencies. And that way nobody's taken by surprise. Everybody knows what the expectations are, and it makes, I believe, for a smoother operation all along. Okay, again, there's the balance of the chapter to get into. It's very helpful in terms of describing some of those performance parameters that are often used, and some good input into that planning process. So carry on. We'll be talking later.